In the heart of an ancient forest, hidden from the eyes of humans, there lay an enchanted garden. This garden was unlike any other, for it was tended by a small, magical fairy named Liora. Her wings shimmered with the colors of the rainbow, and her laughter was like the tinkling of 1,000 silver bells. Liora's garden was a place of wonder. Flowers that glowed in the dark, plants that sang softly to themselves, and trees that bore fruits of every color imaginable. The air was always filled with the scent of blossoms and the sweet melody of birdsong. Liora took great pride in her garden, and she spent her days nurturing every plant and creature within it. One day, as she was sprinkling stardust on a patch of moonflowers, Liora heard a faint cry for help. Following the sound, she flitted through the trees and found a tiny, injured sparrow lying on the ground. Its wing was bent awkwardly, and it looked at her with pleading eyes.
"Don't worry, little one,"
Liora whispered, gently picking up the sparrow. She brought it back to her garden and placed it on a soft bed of moss. With a wave of her hand, she summoned a glowing potion from her fairy well. As she sprinkled a few drops onto the sparrow's wing, it began to heal instantly. The sparrow chirped happily and fluttered its wings.
"Thank you, kind fairy. I was caught in a storm and couldn't find my way back home. You've saved me."
Liora smiled. She said,
"You're welcome to stay here until you're strong enough to fly again."
And so the sparrow stayed, enjoying the safety and beauty of Liora's garden. Days turned into weeks, and the sparrow grew stronger. During its stay, it told Liora many stories of the world beyond the forest. Liora listened with wide-eyed wonder, for she had never ventured beyond her beloved garden. One morning, as the sparrow prepared to leave, it said,
"Liora, you have a kind heart and a magical gift. You should see the world beyond this garden. There are so many who could use your help."
Liora felt a pang of sadness at the thought of leaving her garden, but she knew the sparrow was right. She said,
"I will go, but I will always return to my garden."
With a heavy heart, Liora set off on her journey. She traveled through forests and meadows, across rivers and mountains, spreading her magic and kindness wherever she went. She healed the sick, mended broken hearts, and brought joy to those in need. Years passed, and Liora's name became known far and wide as the Fairy of the Enchanted Garden. But no matter how far she traveled or how many she helped, she always returned to her garden, where the flowers glowed, plants sang, and the trees bore fruits of every color imaginable. And so, Liora's garden remained a place of wonder, not just because of its magical beauty, but because of the fairy who tended it with love and kindness. And every time she returned, the garden seemed to grow even more enchanting, as if it too celebrated the return of its beloved fairy. And thus, the legend of the Enchanted Garden and its magical fairy lived on, a testament to the power of kindness and the magic that lies within every heart.